Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, verse number 4. Sayesa pratritim sutsmam Daivim runamayim vibhu Yadrichayaivopadratam Apyapadyata Leelaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As His pastimes, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy, which is invested with three material modes of nature, and which is related with Vishnu. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the word Gunamayim is very significant. Daivim means the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Gunamayim means invested with the three modes of material nature. When the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, this Gunamayim energy acts as a manifestation of the energies of the three modes. It acts as a covering. The energy emanated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests in two ways: as an emanation from the Supreme Lord and as a covering of the Lord's face. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that because the whole world is illusioned by the three modes of material nature, the common conditioned soul, being covered by such energy, cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The example of a cloud is very nicely given. All of a sudden there may appear a big cloud in the sky. This cloud is perceived in two ways. To the sun, the cloud is a creation of its energy, but to the ordinary common man, in the conditioned state, it is a covering to the eyes. Because of the cloud, the sun cannot be seen. It is not that the sun is actually covered by the cloud, only the vision of the ordinary being is covered. Similarly, although Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord, who is beyond Maya, the material energy covers the ordinary living entities. Those conditioned souls who are covered are individual living entities, and He from whose energy Maya is created is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In another place in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, 7th chapter, it is stated that Vyasadeva, by his spiritual vision, saw the Supreme Lord and the material energy standing behind him. This indicates that material energy cannot cover the Lord, just as darkness cannot cover the sun. Darkness can cover a jurisdiction which is very insignificant in comparison to that of the sun. Darkness can cover a small cave, but not the open sky. Similarly, the covering capacity of the material energy is limited and cannot act on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is therefore called Vibhu. As the appearance of a cloud is accepted by the sun, so the appearance of the material energy at a certain interval is accepted by the Lord. Although His material energy is utilized to create the material world, this does not mean that He is covered by that energy. Those who are covered by the material energy are called conditioned souls. The Lord accepts the material energy for His material pastimes in creation, maintenance and dissolution. But the conditioned soul is covered. He cannot understand that beyond this material energy there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, just as a less intelligent person cannot understand that beyond the covering of the clouds there is bright sunshine. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta.
Vandeham The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 26th Chapter, Text number 4, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 16th, 1974, in Bombay, India.
Krishna says, Mama Maya. That means, Mame vaja prapadanti mayametan tarantit. If one surrenders to Krishna, then he becomes free from the clutches of Maya. So how Krishna can be caught by Maya? This is contradictory. If anyone surrenders to Krishna, he becomes free from the influence of Maya, simply by surrendering. Then how Krishna can be influenced by Maya? It is common sense. By surrendering to Krishna, by becoming a devotee of Krishna, you become free from the clutches of Maya. Mami vaja prapadante, simply by surrendering. Maya mitang taranti. So never think that Krishna, the Mayavadi thinks like that we are one, Krishna and we. We are one. Yes, we are one in quality. The same thing, just like the fire and the spark. One in burning capacity. Even a small spark of the fire, it can burn. So we are one in the spiritual quality, but in quantity we are different. Same example, Vibhu and all. This is very nice verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Mame vaja prapadanti mayame tang taranti. Then another verse is there. Apashat purusham purnam mayancha tad apasrayam bhakti yogena manasi sammak pranihate amale. Vasudev was there when he was instructed by his spiritual master Narad Muni to write Srimad Bhagavatam. At that time, by Bhakti Yoga meditation, he could see the Supreme Personality of Godhead and this Maya also. But it is said, Mayancha jad apasrayam. Maya is situated in the backside without any influence upon Krishna, apasra, under the control. So Maya is always controlled. Krishna is the controller of Maya. In another place, in the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Sisti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka chai vajassa bhuvanani vibharti Durga. Durga is the material energy and she has got immense power. Sisti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti. She is controlling this creation of this whole universe, Sisti, and Sthiti is maintenance, and pralaya. Three things she is controlling. She is so powerful. Sisti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka chai vajassa bhuvanani vibharti Durga. See, Durga Shakti, material energy, she is so powerful, but it is working chaiva, just like shadow. Shadow has no independent capacity. It is dependent on the substance and shadow. So Krishna is the substance and the power derived from Krishna partially exhibited by the Durga Shakti. In the Upanishad also it is said, Natasya karyam karanancha vidyate natasya samang adhikascha drishyate. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, he has nothing to do. Natasya karyam karanancha vidyate. Natasya sama. Nobody is equal to him. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matta paratara nanya kaschit. There is nothing superior than me. The Supreme. And in Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Sattam Param Dhimai. That is the Supreme Truth. So all the Shastras will say that Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has got different expansions, unlimited. Although Krishna is one, but he can expand himself into many, many millions. Advaita Achyute Anadi Ananta Rupam. Ananta Rupam. And each Rupam is acting in some universe. Just like at this time, here you find darkness in Bombay, but the sun is present in all his different phases all over the world. Sun rises in the morning at, say, 7 o'clock. So, this 7 o'clock to next 7 o'clock, in evening 7 o'clock, you'll find, if you immediately take information, somewhere it is 7 o'clock, somewhere it is 12 o'clock, somewhere it is 6 o'clock, somewhere it is. All the time formula of the sun is present, although we are saying there is no sun. Similarly, Krishna is present throughout the whole universe in some feature. In one universe you will find Krishna is taking birth, Janmashtami. And some universe you will see Krishna is playing with the covered boy, somewhere in this way. Therefore it is called Nitya Lila. Nitya Lila means the Janmashtami Lila is going on permanently, somewhere or other. Therefore it is called Leelaya, Jadichaya. So this is a great science, Krishna science, Krishna Tattva. So we have to learn from the authorized Vedic literature about Krishna, and that is required in human life, because if we simply understand the truth about Krishna, Janma Karma Chime Dibbam, which are divine, transcendental. Jiv Janati Tattvata. If you try to understand and if you become fortunate to understand the divine nature of Krishna's Leela, then you become liberated immediately. Taktadi hanga punarjanmano iti mamiti kaunja. The Sankhya philosophy of Kapil Dev is explained in this way to understand Krishna. So Krishna jadichaya upagatam abhapaddhata leela. Krishna is leela, and our coming here is not leela. We are forced. We are forced. Karmana daiva deha upapatti. And Krishna's body is Satchidananda Vigraha. Krishna's body is not material. Even if we think it is material, still it is Satchidananda Vigraha. Just like one can argue that here is Krishna's form, it is made of stone. How it is Satchidananda Vigraha? But if you know the nature of Krishna, even he appears as stone, still he is Satchidananda Vigraha. How? Because the stone is also energy of Krishna. That is said in the Upanishad. Natasya karyam karanancha vidyate natasya sama udikaschade parasya shakti vividaiva sriyate. So this stone is also another energy of Krishna. Another energy of Krishna, and Krishna is all powerful. he can utilize his energy in any way. He can utilize his energy in any way, just like an electrician. He knows how to utilize the electricity for the refrigerator and the heater. Although the heating process is just opposite of the cooling process. And we see opposite. Similarly, material nature and spiritual nature just opposite. But the same way, the electricity utilized for heating and electricity utilized for cooling, the energy is the same, but it is the manipulation of the engineer which can turn heat into cold and cold into hot. So therefore, for Krishna there is no material nature. Everything is spiritual nature. Even Krishna appears as material form, as stone, as metal. Still, one who knows Krishna, he can derive Krishna's favor from any form. Otherwise, the devotees are recommended to worship the deity in the temple. So, do you think that the acharyas and the shastra have advised them to waste their time by worshipping a stone? It is all recommended by the acharyas. Big acharyas, just like Ramanuja Acharya. He established hundreds of temples all over India. Lakshmi Narayan temple, especially the Ramanuja Sampradaya. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sampradaya established hundreds of temples, Radha Krishna, big acharya. Do you mean to say they did mistake, as some people of our India, they say, there is no need of worshipping in the temple. No. Why not need? Acharya upasanam, that is recommended. Yeah. Acharyas, they have established temples. Many hundreds of thousands of temples of Vishnu Mandir. So this should be worshipped. Otherwise, you cannot. Mahajana jina gatasya pantha. If you do not follow acharyas, then tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadakshanti tad jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. The acharyas are tattvadarshi. They know how to make you devotee. Therefore they have prescribed. And Krishna, in his any condition life, he is Sachidananda Vigraha. Ishara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. You try to understand Krishna. You try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Try to understand your relationship and act accordingly. Then your life will be successful. Otherwise you are wasting your time. Thank you very much.